So I've talked about this in the past, where I talked about Little Mermaid or Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, and the changing of characters, race swapping, gender swapping, the personality changing, and everything else based off of how the original films or cartoons are going. So what I'm looking at here is, if you haven't seen this, this is, I tried to do some research to see if this was real. This is it right here. This is actual. They're saying this is footage for the upcoming Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs film. They said this is an actual picture right here. Those are the dwarfs right there. What in the hell is going on? They are doing this on purpose. Oh God, man. I'm you know, it's a good thing I'm not really a big Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs fan. It's a good thing I'm not a mermaid fan, or I was somewhat Peter Pan, you know what I mean? But this right here is crazy right here. If you was to take a snapshot, matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. So come on now. So just doing the picture update, looking at the old cartoon, the old animation series. I mean, you can even go right here. So if you they made them look a certain way, they have big noses, big ears, chubby, short, fat, all kinds of different stuff. I mean, these are ideas. They stayed consistent every time they remade it. Rather, if it was a computer animation, updated picture, it was consistent. It was a big nose, short. I mean, you would think they would take some dwarfs, real dwarfs, so they can be inclusive instead of CGI and making people look like dwarfs, which they have done. We have seen in plenty of films like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, and all these different films. But you'll just give them special makeup, like with special add noses to them, add ears to them, special makeup crew. No, they didn't do that. I mean, I can't listen. I can't say, I don't know if this is the final image look for them, but if this is it, they made it where it's like extremely colorful. There's Let's see. So okay, I guess it's low colorful. I mean, they got colors. It just didn't stand out as much. So they got a couple color hats, but it's more like a dingy color. So they got the brown hat right here. But this right here is a lot going on. There's a lot going on with the textures, the designs, and stuff like that. But that's not the issue here. The issue is the whole overall image of all this. The issue is, you're gonna turn people off. People ain't gonna want to see this, man. People will. People will, to try to prove a point. The people that think you're anti this or you're racist or whatever, those people are gonna go see it because they feel like they're obligated, because they're mad. They don't like people opposing to something that because they want to think it's all racism. We live in a world where everything is like, if you don't agree with it, or if you're like me or a black dude, you're kind of part of a cult. You're part of the Uncle Tom, the outsiders looking in, saying, "Oh, you don't accept that. You're being brainwashed. You're being what do they call it? A grifter." All these different things. They think you're a sellout. So, but this is not it. This ain't it. This doesn't emulate the animation. Just don't do it. This is, I mean, you got a Hispanic playing Snow White. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna bypass that. I thought it was gonna be one character. They made sure that all the characters, except for three, which are not built a certain way, except for the shortest one. And this guy right here, well, maybe the guy to the far right, maybe this guy here, he is the only one that is pretty much in the actual look of a dwarf, but he might be extra short. I can't see them in real time. I can't see them next to people over 5 feet. And then you got to make sure you're being inclusive. You got to make sure that you're involving POCs. You have this guy right here in the front. It looks like he's biracial. You got two black people here, and this guy right here, the guy with the blue, with the next to the biracial guy, he looks the way he's built. It doesn't have a dwarf built to him. So when I watch movies, for instance, I think of movies like live action. I mean, X-Men, for instance. So I think of like X-Men. So I'll pull up these pictures here. Let's see. What the hell? What the goddamn hell? Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so I think this is a bad site or what? Anyways, so when I think of live action, this is what I'm talking about right here. There's some differences. Yes, there's some difference from the animation in the books. Wolverine, for one, is tall, but for the most part, they kept everybody. Bishop is black in the comics. Uh, Professor X, Patrick Stewart looks like Professor X. Uh, no one had anything to say about this. Nobody had a problem with this. You want to know why? Because it fit. It looked it similar. It was enough. It wasn't trying too hard to have this agenda to have everything fit a certain way for a certain audience. And now I could use that as an example, but that started in 2000. So that started in 2000 all the way into the most recent future of the past and stuff like that. But they stayed with it. They stayed. They didn't change anybody. Maybe they did. But there was nobody specifically that you could say, "Oh, that guy that was wrong. That's not it." So, but Disney and X-Men was owned by Fox, but I think Disney is finally. So who knows what's going to happen to the future? But yeah, they're ruining these films. They're really. It's look. I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, I have no plans of watching it. Uh, Again, someone asked me last time when I was talking about Little Mermaid, it was, you don't plan to watch it, why even talk about it? Well, you talk about it because it's there and it's showing what they're doing. Rather if you're a fan or not a fan, what they're doing is not the right way to go. At least in my opinion. Others' opinion, they think it's perfect. Oh, they're finally letting us in, man. They're letting me take someone else's position. They're replacing me with somebody else, which is back then, if they weren't so damn racist, they would have already had me in this position. It's what do you call it? Tokenization. It's bad, man. So no.